congressional districts within the state to keep moving around, and it's just something they do as purely a political thing. Because they want
Well, no, but what if everybody left the city of Chicago? Then the city of Chicago shouldn't have as many congressional representatives. So it really is based on population. And when we use that expression that you vote with your feet, that's what this is all about. People move for whatever reason, and the representation has to reflect that. Every state gets 2 senators, but in Congress it's represented by population. And then for a while now, people have been moving south and west. They've been moving out of many states that have very business-unfriendly policies. I mean, Illinois is losing people left and right. We're losing small businesses left and right. This is a really tough state to live in. It's a bad state to die in. It's a bad state to run a business in. And none of this is surprising. We've had one party control the state, the Democrats, and the Democrats don't believe in small businesses. They just don't. And oh, by the way, the state is broke. Our credit rating is just lower, which means we're more broke. We have the highest pension liability, worst unemployment. Gotta love Illinois. California's right there with us. So they bribe big companies to stay with our money.
Right. Well, yeah,
We've spent about $550 million bribing Caterpillars and other big companies to stay. Our money.
Oh yeah, you're raising more of the tax. The big guys try to leave. And so then you have to take a break, so you really didn't account for it.
Bingo.
So the only people that really get raised are the small businesses, because they can't threaten them with tax rates.
I'm always amazed, and maybe the presidential election won't be close, but we know we're right on all these issues. And I think most people in the middle get it now, that this president has made things worse. The Democrats have made things worse. You got a lot of people who are dependent upon government, right? They're going to keep voting for the party of government. Hi! Nice t-shirt. We've been talking about Illinois. Hey everybody, this is Kerry Collins.
Hi, how are you?
Kerry.
I'm a Joe Walsh groupie. I follow him everywhere.
You're not just,
And he speaks the truth.
you're not just a groupie. Who are you?
I'm running for the state senate in the 22nd district, which is just north and west and all over the place up there, and supporting a lot of the same fundamental principles that Mr. Walsh is supporting. And my sister has known him for a long time, and we have been supporters of Mr. Walsh since. And we just happened to find us a Tammy Duckworth, what we should call it, a coordinator or something. The first person we've ever found that actually works for her. So we think that she may actually exist. Because I lived across the lake from her in Hoffman Estates, never seen the woman. So every time I see somebody with Tammy, I said, "Are you Tammy Duckworth?" I was close, at least she worked for her.
Hey, we've been talking about how bad Illinois is.
Oh,
The rough state of affairs it's in. People leaving, businesses leaving. What point blank, Kerry, you're going to go down to Springfield. What needs to be done in Illinois to straighten things out?
well, the first thing is, if you understand economic principles, you understand that a lot of the things and a lot of the entitlement programs are regressive in nature. What you do is you give somebody money and you just keep printing money to give them benefits. The key is by cutting taxes, you develop business, you develop growth. As you develop business, as you develop that, you create jobs. As you create jobs, you create income. As you create income, you create revenue for the state. And the solution to most of the state of Illinois problems is bring business back. And that's the key. And people just can't, and a Democrat can't get that through their head. If you cut taxes, how does that help the economy? You know, there's less money coming, but that's why we Republicans are so successful, because we're a much smarter than those Democrats. And that's one of the things we're going to go down there and do. Bring manufacturing back to this country. We started to make some inroads. And that's what we need to do. We need to be a country that actually is productive and produces. And we're going to try to do that in the state of Illinois. And hopefully then we're going to be able to have Joe single-handedly perhaps turn it around. He's one of the few
Yeah,
people-
right, single-handed.
Yeah, well, the problem is I heard in the convention, I was pretty happy because they are actually talking a lot more practically. It seems to me that almost every politician I've ever met, once they get elected, loses all common sense. Joe is the only one I've ever found who is consistent, who follows the principles he said before. Somebody once told me, Kerry, I might disagree with you, but do what you say. He's the only honest politician I've ever found. He said he's going to go down, he said he's going to sleep in his office, and he did. And people thought that was crazy, but it was true. And you need honest politicians and people who live up to what they tell you. And that's what I stand for, and that's what I think.
Welcome. Thank you, Kerry.
Congressman Walsh stands for.
Everybody, Kerry Collins, support him as he tries to get down to Springfield. Well, come on in. Sit down.
I live here.
Oh.
Don't you say?
What else, guys? Any other topics, subjects, anything?
Yeah, so,
Boom.
as far as reducing the national debt,
Yes.
I think you can do that purely by cutting the spending without having to reduce taxes.
No.
Okay.
But here's my but, and it goes to what soon-to-be State Cabinet Senator Kerry Collins just said. We have a huge debt, bigger than anybody knows, because your government spends way too much money. So how are you going to cut that debt? You got to cut government spending, primarily our entitlements. You got to raise government revenues. How do you raise government revenues? You don't do it by raising taxes. If you want more money coming into government, history is replete with examples of cut taxes and simplify the tax code. And if you do those two things, the economy grows, more taxpayers are created, more people working, and government revenues always go up. Right now, government revenues as a share of GDP are so low because the economy is dead and there aren't enough people working. So cut taxes, especially on small business guys, and you raise government revenues.
Yeah, there's got to be some level that's the right level. Because obviously if you have 0% taxes, then you don't bring in any government revenue. And if they're too high, you bring in less because business goes down. So even though the rate's higher, there's not as much.
So that pendulum right now, in my mind, it has swung too far this way. We're now taxing
too high on the tax, and we'll get more revenue if we bring it back.
too high on the taxes, and this is really important, too freaking complicated on the code. This complicated, idiotic, convoluted tax code we have only benefits wealthy guys and big businesses. Why do we get upset that GE pays 0 in taxes? Warren Buffett could pay 0 in taxes. Because they can hire every accountant lawyer to find every loophole and deduction in the book. And they come out paying nothing. If you want the wealthy to pay more, get rid of all the loopholes and deductions, simplify the code. If you had a simple flat tax of 15%, everybody in America paid 15%, not a dime more, you would see this economy take off and you'd see government revenues go through the roof. I think. Again, that's just from a simple freshman in Congress. Welcome! If you're late, go to the back of the classroom. I'm kidding. But see, I wish Republicans weren't afraid to have this debate. Because Democrats always say, you can't just cut spending, you got to increase taxes. No, welcome. If you increase taxes, you will kill the economy and you will lessen government revenues. And I wish Republicans would have that debate. But you're right, you got to do both.
Funny thing, a lot of it has to do with the media is so negative about the whole thing. A lot of that is just off, all this negativity. The people themselves are smart enough to bring the positive attitude back and things start moving a little better. I see it in this business. All you gotta do is say one bad thing, oh, the economy's taking it down, it's getting worse. If you don't say, if you say something without that negativity all the time, the positive stuff, bring it on a little bit. And you see it within days it changes.
Well, there's a self-fulfilling prophecy to that kind of stuff. If everybody's negative, nobody wants to invest because they say, well, things are going to be bad. So they...
Except, I agree with you, except, look, the media is liberal. They always have been, they always will be. That's just part of the deal. Except, there really is something going on right now. I bet 97% of the small business guys and women I've talked to in the last year have all done this. Time out! Time out! I'm not going to spend, I'm not going to invest, I'm not going to grow, and I'm not going to hire. Why? Because I'm scared of everything coming out of Washington. I'm overregulated and overtaxed, and they say, that guy in the White House just doesn't like me. Most business guys understand that Obama doesn't like business, and so they've called the big giant national timeout. Everybody is sitting on money, waiting until after the election. And I'm telling you, the people that hire people in this country and create jobs go to bed every night praying that Romney can win. Because they're convinced Obama's not their friend. But I think they're all waiting. They're scared to death and they're waiting.
Why can't we get out what Obama's agenda really is? I mean, 2016 is kind of, okay, that might be a little bit of an exaggeration, but I don't know if you've seen the movie.
Not yet.
But I think Dinesh D'Souza is a smart guy, and he makes a lot of sense in the things that he's said and brought out, but you can't get that out with NBC, CBS, ABC, you get a snippet through Fox. And everybody in the world jumps on Fox all the time because it's like, oh, Fox is on one side and everybody else is on the other side. Why can't we get the word out that Obama's really got an agenda that we don't want?
Here's why. Because me, Joe Walsh, and basically everything I say gets broadcast around the world. If I said the following right now, and I said, you know what? President Obama, when he wears his pants, they're too long. His pants are too long. The next day, it would be, Joe Walsh just made the most racist comment in the world. Or if I said, you know what? The way President Obama, when he begins his speech, he always looks this way first. Joe Walsh, did you hear that racist thing he said about President Obama? It's almost comical now because any criticism him, but what does that tell you? That tells you, to your point, the media is so protecting this guy that now they're throwing out the race card on everything.
I recorded the RNC just so I could see what different stations were, what they were projecting. And I found myself watching MSNBC. Are you listening?
I listen everywhere.
I found myself watching MSNBC. I'm probably the only guy in here that reported the RNC. You got a little bar in there.
The whole thing?
But most. But I found myself watching MSNBC and laughing, and then I realized this isn't a comedy. They're serious. Even John Cass, you know John Cass?
Yes.
Who was a friend of mine with Tribune. John responded to my Facebook post saying, is that not too funny? He talked to me a little bit on the side. John and I, and my wife and I were friends. But it's just amazing. I was laughing watching MSNBC because it was so ridiculous the way it was skewed the other direction. And it's like, are these guys even listening to what's being said? And the way they're attacking women is beyond comprehension. Women and minorities, they eliminated whenever they would speak, that didn't get covered.
But you know what? 73 people were watching MSNBC. Maybe 73.
Not just MSNBC.
It was 87.
Hey guys, look. This is a battle. This is a battle. You say what Obama's agenda is. Again, here's what I'm going to say, and you may disagree. 4 years ago, we elected someone who was never ready to be president. I think most of the country understands that now. We feel good about ourselves because he was a historic figure. We elected our first black president, made us as a country feel good about ourselves. And a lot of people still feel that way. I don't want to discount it. But I have enough faith in the American people that most Americans say now, you know what? he really hasn't done a good job, and he really wasn't ready.